Hi, welcome to Main Pod Girl, a podcast made by Popheads for Popheads. Every episode, we'll be diving into all kinds of pop culture topics with some of our favorite artists and music commentators. I'm your host, AJ Marks. Oh, it feels so good to say that again. It has been a little bit of a summer break, but we are so back and ready to rumble. So I am excited to introduce today's special guest. He's a YouTuber with nearly 350,000 subscribers to his channel and millions of views on his video essays, covering everything from music technology to the defining songs of each decade. I actually met this guest through this show a few years ago, and I'm grateful now to call him a good friend of mine. So naturally, I had to have him back on the show. It's Mike the Snare. I don't even know where to begin with this, but I guess I should introduce the listeners to this concept. You had Garth Brooks in your video, and you were talking about Garth Brooks. It was about the Chris Gaines stuff, right?
Yes, it was.
And I was like, man, everything I hear about Garth Brooks just sounds made up. I'm like, I research pop music. Like, you would think that I would know this, but I don't.
Yeah.
And that's because, like, the 90s is just, like, a huge memory hole for me. But also, Garth Brooks is just a memory hole for a lot of fucking people. And then we started talking about memory hole artists and things where you're like, I guess that was huge, but that, like, also feels like it doesn't exist or feels like it didn't happen, feels like a prank. And we're here to talk about memory hole artists and songs, but also what makes songs last and like the things that you can do to make sure your songs aren't forgotten to time. So first off, let's talk about the reasons songs get lost to time. Some examples. I have one big example right now that's always confounded me. It's Ashanti.
Oh yeah. Any particular song?
All of them. So, and I don't mean to be rude to Ashanti either. Like, there was one time in which she was featured on the number one song on the Hot 100. She had her own song at number 2. She had her other song from that same album at number 3. And then she co-wrote the Jennifer Lopez song at number 4.
Wow.
So she basically had the top 4 songs in the country. This is long before streaming was making that a norm for artists like Taylor Swift and Drake. This is like really, truly a feat. And this is something that, like, having credits on the top 4 songs, I don't think that's ever been done before she did it.
I don't think so.
And yet, where are all those songs? Like, all of them.
For what it's worth, too, I don't remember much of her work either. I know of Rock the Boat. That's the only one I really know of. And that's also because I hear it referenced in songs.
Really?
And not a lot these days. Yeah, there was a Kanye West song. I think it was Fade that references it. And from what I'm aware, it's also referenced in other songs every so often. Maybe not so much recently these days. But honestly, this might be a bit morbid, but I wonder if specifically for her case, it's because, what was it? She passed away really young, right?
That's Aaliyah. But this is proving my point. This is proving my point.
Well, wait. When you first brought up Ashanti, at first my mind went to, the person who sang "Are You That Somebody?" And then I had to remind myself, no, that's Aaliyah. And I've realized that I've still just been confusing the two.
No, honest.
So Ashanti is alive still. We can.
She's
confirm
alive
that?
still.
Okay.
I think the nail in Ashanti's coffin was like label trouble and legal issues, and she went independent before independent was something you could do. Nowadays, Megan Thee Stallion can go independent and release a number 1 song. Ashanti going independent in 2011 and releasing something 5 years after her, last album, there wasn't an avenue for that.
True.
I guess she Fergied there. And if Fergie didn't have the Black Eyed Peas, like, who knows how... I mean, maybe Fergie would be memory holed in the exact same way. I feel like Fergie is memory holed a little too much, which is why I talk about her so much. I have to keep her spirit on.
I heard Big Girls Don't Cry recently for the first time in years.
You're doing a disservice to yourself if you're not listening to Big Girls Don't... Anyway, sorry.
You're just pushing for the Fergie DDD, aren't you?
Don't make it, because then I can't use that joke anymore.
I mean, Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry, I heard recently. And then also, this gets into what you and I were talking about beforehand. Bruno Mars. A lot of his early stuff, I would say, is memory hold. Because when's the last time you heard When I Was Your Man?
Or Grenade, or
Grenade.
I'm struggling to think of Just the Way You Are.
Just the Way You Are. Yeah, I mean, I even go to like the one with B.O.B.
Nothing on you.
Nothing compares to you. Yeah, Nothing on You.
Nothing compares to you.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, wait, that's not the right one. Yeah, but a lot of his early stuff, it feels like a completely different artist at this point.
Talking about the reason songs get lost to time, I've been able to identify a few. With the Ashanti and Monica one, and like, I'm throwing Monica into this category, but also like Sierra, like, I think that a lot of them just aren't played on pop radio anymore. Like, I feel like that has to be it, right? Like, maybe they're just pigeonholed to R&B radio because of the fucked up way that the music industry looks at genre. Yeah. I would assume. I mean, shout out to the pudding test. Have you seen like have you tried the pudding test before, where it's like it gives you songs and you say like, I know the lyrics, I know the song, sounds familiar, or I don't know it, and it gives you just like 10 random songs, and then it like shows you all of the data points that they've made on like based on the year you were born. Like they show like, 7% of Gen Z knows this song. 20% of millennials know this song. Yeah, and we'll get into that.
Done that. Ooh, it's interesting.
It's been so helpful for my research.
Yeah. Well, wait, can I tell you the song that really kicked this off for me? Well, there was the Garth Brooks one and the Chris Gaines, but there was another song that really got me thinking about this, and it is, I think, as of this year, or it's going to be 10 years old this year, Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake, Love Never Felt So Good.
It's actually a good fucking song.
It's a great song.
I didn't like it when it first came out for some reason. Like, I think it was just because he was dead, but, and I don't really like hits by dead people. It feels like a very weird concept to me. But, it's a great song.
It's a great song, but when's the last time you heard it?
Last time I heard it last time I heard someone talk about it, probably not since the year it came out.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one, because I've been digging a lot into Michael Jackson recently, and like, that was his most recent hit, and it's like, where is it? I don't see it anywhere, which was wild to me.
And we still have no idea why Jennifer Lopez is lost to time. Like that, the reason it escapes me. Michael Bolton, like, what's the reason? You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's more remembered as like a meme these days.
Yeah.
Though I just haven't met you yet. Still a banger.
That's Michael Bublé.
Oh my God. I did it again.
I'm having so much fun with this.
Oh, you know what? Michael Bolton, the thing I remember him for was Jack Sparrow by The Lonely Island.
I love this. I mean, we keep dancing around the subject. I should probably get into some reasons things get lost to time. A big one that we talked about that has to do with the Jacksons is blacklisting. So that's what happened to Ashley Simpson. That's what they tried to do to Britney Spears. But that's what they very successfully did with Janet Jackson. This is my Roman Empire. What would Janet Jackson's career have looked like had not Nipplegate? Like, I'm not worried about Nipplegate not happening, because Nipplegate, controversy, whatever, invents YouTube. Like, I like that timeline. I just don't like the whole timeline of like Les Moonves.
Les Moonves, yep, that's it. Head of CBS at the time, right?
Yeah, and he got everyone to blacklist Janet Jackson from radio, and then she didn't release an album for a while for obvious reasons. And it's like when you grow up in a generation where they're literally not allowed to play Janet Jackson, you tend to not know any Janet Jackson songs. And you have to learn them later in life because everyone talks about how good they are.
Absolutely. And
this is something that really pisses me off. Oh my God, I feel like I'm going to get so much heat for this, is that the songs are not mixed well. Like, I really don't like the mixes of her song, like Rhythm Nation and things like that. Like,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I don't like the masters. I don't like the mixes. I don't like anything about it. Like, I think that if she was still held in the same esteem that she was, up till 2002, right? 2002. Yeah. Then I feel like labels and such would actually put a lot of money and time and effort into preserving her legacy with really fucking good remasters and, reissues and I feel like her songs would sound a lot more updated, because they weren't made for Apple computers, because those didn't exist at the time. They weren't made for iPhones. And I feel like that's an important thing that we have to do just as a culture, is preserve the songs that were so big and so influential. And I feel like we failed her, and then framed it as she failed us.
I don't disagree with you about the we failed her bit. And that's a whole other thing we could get into. But you mentioned the idea of like having to preserve these songs, or like there's a duty to that. And I wonder if maybe there isn't. I mean, maybe not specifically with Janet Jackson, but just like in general, like if a song is a hit in 2000, 2010, you know, going far back, like, is it necessarily our culture's responsibility to continuously highlight that, or to continuously, you know, make them available? Because I think culture is a lot more fluid than that. And there are just times where it's like, you know, I mean, you mentioned Faith Hill earlier. She had the #1 song of 2000. She had Breathe. I don't know many people today who even remember that song. I remember it because I'm a bit of a sick freak, and I've like mentioned it in a bunch of videos, but it's like, freak. Is it like my responsibility then to like inform the people about Faith Hill's Breathe? I don't know if it is. I mean, if I like it.
If you like the song, I mean, I'm doing that with Fergie, right?
True.
I will not let the kids forget about Fergie. If the culture's not really feeling Janet Jackson anymore, then they can give up on Faith Hill or Janet Jackson or Monica or whoever, right? Like that's like, if things don't fit in the culture anymore, even in the throwback section, like that's fine. But I think if you are Janet Jackson's label, I think it is your responsibility.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's a business interest.
And I think another responsibility is to make if you want the music to last across generations, is to make the music widely available. So
yes. Yeah. Shout out Garth Brooks.
Shout out Garth Brooks.
Only available on Amazon Prime Music.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know this. I didn't realize that Garth Brooks was Walmart exclusive from 2005 to 2014. So that's really when it started.
Yep.
And then he had his own streaming service called Ghost Tunes from 2014 to 2017.
I did not know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was only 4 years, so I don't blame you. And then Amazon Music from 2017 onwards. So he's been an exclusive girly, since 2005. So that
you should also not forget his one album that sold exclusively in Bass Pro Shops.
Yes. He loves an exclusive.
Yeah.
And then like JoJo's another one who like didn't have her past albums on streaming or anywhere. It wasn't available on iTunes. It wasn't available in stores until 2021. So the only reason I was able to listen to it is because I bought the music. I bought the CD back in the day. It's so surprising how well Too Little Too Late and Leave Get Out have held up, despite not being available anywhere other than YouTube.
True. And maybe that's a reason why songs do last, which is at their core, at their intangible core, they're just good and people want to hear them.
So true. Other people that have taken their music off of Spotify are Coldplay in 2015, Jay-Z from 2015 to 2019, which I did feel like hurt his, not his legacy, but it hurt his recognition.
I see what you mean. Yeah, or at least recognition as a music maker.
As a music maker for younger generations.
Right, because I think the only record he released in that span, but also since, it was 444.
Yeah.
Which was also like largely an album that was just the fallout from his wife's album about his alleged infidelity. So it's like a lot of it has just been like about him as the businessman and the business magnate, and then also him as the controversial figure for recent stuff. But these days it's not really about the music.
Alleged. You're such a YouTuber.
I'm just making sure. Covering my bases.
I'm like, am I going to get sued for not saying alleged? Like, I've never said alleged on this podcast, not once. If you're an entertainment lawyer, you can just go through the backlog, find something to sue me over.
Yep.
Adele's 25 wasn't available from when it came out in 2015 to 2016.
Was it really?
Yeah, Beyonce's Lemonade wasn't available from when it came out in 2016 to 2019, which does surprise me a lot. I think that album also would have done a lot better had it been available widely. I think Formation
Well,
would have
because
went number one.
it was only on Tidal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Everyone downloaded Tidal. That's the only time that everyone's downloaded an app.
Yeah. Well, also too, don't forget about Life of Pablo, because that was the one album
It's
in mind.
true.
That's like the memory hold title album to me.
Yeah, actually, no, I did download Tidal for Auntie, so actually I didn't download it for...
Oh, that's right, Auntie. Oh my God.
But I think it was available on Spotify like shortly after that, right? It must have
I think
been.
so. They also, I remember for Auntie, but also Jay-Z's 2013 album Magna Carta Holy Grail, there was like a Samsung bundle thing that they did where it's like, for whatever reason, Samsung phone owners got this album for free, and since they bought them in bulk, it was like already a like gold certified album or something like that.
I think it was platinum.
Oh my God, yeah, platinum then.
Yeah, because it was like 1 million, I think. We live and we learn. Taylor Swift, though, funny enough, not available from 2014 to 2017.
Oh, I remember
On
that. She wrote
Spotify.
the strongly worded letter to them, right?
I think that was to Apple Music.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But I always remember it as Spotify, but I think it was to Apple Music. Maybe she just was writing a lot of strongly worded letters and
Maybe.
we're mixing them up. But Prince also 2015 to 2017.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Not available on streaming. And then Neil Young and Joni Mitchell from 2022 to 2024, which I at that state in the game, I feel like that's not really hurting much. It's not helping,
True.
but it's not hurting.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because the collection of artists there, like there are some that it's, taking the music off, like hasn't hurt their long-term appeal. Like Taylor Swift's music being off for that span of time has not impacted her really. Coldplay, we talked about Jay-Z, and like you said with Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, it's like their legacy's already set. It's like, it's not helping them outright, but it's like, it doesn't hurt to just have their music on there so that it's accessible. But it's an interesting conundrum where it's like, I don't know of, actually I should say, we talked about Janet and JoJo, and I feel like those were the two people who, like, because of limited access to their music, their trajectory was kind of derailed in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Jay-Z had just had a hit 2 years before he took his music off of streaming. So I think that also was a bit tricky for him. Taylor Swift, that was in her prime, but like she was doing the thing. Taylor Swift was doing the thing that like Britney Spears did back in the day, where she was doing the streaming equivalent of what Britney Spears did, where she didn't release her singles as physical singles. She just had radio exclusive singles. And that's why they didn't chart very high, but they sold a lot of albums. So Lucky
Interesting. Okay.
was all over MTV, all over the radio, not available as a single. So didn't have any sales going towards it. I think it was Lucky, but like there were a couple that did that.
Interesting.
Oops, I Did It Again, I think only went to number 9.
That's wild. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Right?
So then maybe there's something, I mean, that's interesting then, where it's like the more you're able to be where the people are, I don't know, there are some songs that I think you hear immediately and within the year that it's out, it's like, okay, this is like a certified hit and a part of our like cultural canon, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of songs need that period of, multiple years to gestate before we're all like, okay, yeah, this is like really set in the culture. Like, it's funny too, recently I was listening to Uptown Funk, which I think just turned 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, like, in some ways I feel like this is like a certified cultural hit, but also like, I don't know, like, what do you think of when you think of Uptown Funk these days?
I'll tell you what I think of. My friend Cam, shout out Cam, who you've met actually.
Oh yeah.
At my birthday party. So he has this thing where he goes out to a wedding and he keeps track of the time in which they play Uptown Funk. Like what time it is when they play Uptown Funk. So he'll be like 8:44 or like 7:15. This one was a bit early. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
funny that it's such a staple in weddings
Yes.
and such a floor filler that it's like always sometime around 8 p.m., 8 to 9 p.m. They'll play that. So that's what I think of. I think of that experiment.
Yeah. I think of the same thing too. Like, I think of weddings when I think of that song, but I don't think of it like, I don't know. I have not casually listened to Uptown Funk in ages.
No, not casually. No, I haven't done that since 2014 actually.
Yeah.
Before it was really big. I remember when it first came out for like 2 weeks, I was like, this is awesome. And then after that I was like, this is overplayed.
Yeah.
Love Uptown Funk though. Another reason songs I think get lost to time, and this is something that you brought up, not on Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
Again, it's being where the people are.
Exactly.
And specifically where the young people are too.
100%. So it's like generationally, if you are popular with a certain generation and you're trying to appeal to the next generation, you want to be on Guitar Hero or Rock Band. You want to be on Glee. Like you want to have these associations, these things that can bring you into the next generation. Prince, Phil Collins, Madonna, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, none. And you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like all of those artists have a lot of songs memory hold.
I'm just thinking now of like, what's the new generation's version of that? Is it Fortnite?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just more generally like social media?
I think it's just TikTok, really.
TikTok too.
For now, at least. So this is from The Pudding. Madonna songs, Vogue, known by 47% of Gen Z. Songs like Erotica and This Used to Be My Playground, 7%, and Take a Bow, 6%.
Wow.
Just one generation over, Take a Bow is known by 35% of millennials. Gen Z, it's only 6%. Like, that's crazy, wild. Right?
And you know what's wild, too? Personally speaking, the only song on there that I could, like, recall for you right away is Vogue.
Exactly. Like 63% of Gen X can know This Used to Be My Playground, and only 7% of Gen Z and 16% of millennials. Like, some songs are so sectioned off to a certain generation. I call those You Had to Have Been There.
Yeah.
Like Harlem Shake is going to be our You Had to Be There. Like, no one's gonna,
oh my God, yes.
No one that wasn't alive when we were alive knows Harlem Shake.
You know what else this makes me think? And correct me if I'm wrong here, on this chart with the Madonna songs, of these, Vogue is the only one that was on Glee. The one Glee episode. Because, I mean, they recreated the music video, and they had Jane Lynch singing it.
Being covered on Glee, I'm sorry, that's going to help.
That's it.
Okay, so the ways to make a song last. We already talked about Guitar Hero, right? There are a lot of songs that I know now that I only know because of Guitar Hero, like The Joker.
And it's funny, too, because I feel like normally the way that you're introduced to, like, music of the past is through, like, a personal connection, usually a family member. Like, it's your dad or your mom who plays you, like, the music they were into, and that's how you get into it. I feel like Guitar Hero was that for a lot of people.
Yeah, so Guitar Hero is one. Glee and Pitch Perfect are another one. Pitch Perfect to a lesser extent.
Oh, my God.
But, like, there are a lot of, like, The Sign by Ace of Base. I only know that song because of Pitch Perfect. Like, there are quite a few songs I only know because of Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Like the Cup Song, which I think has another name, but everybody knows it as the Cup Song.
Yeah, I guess. But that song, like, wasn't popular before. I'm talking about, like, Blame It on the Boogie, where I genuinely, like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I've ever heard that song outside of that context, and MJ the Musical.
Or maybe Blackstreet's No Diggity.
Yeah, that was of course, that's such a good example. That is a huge one where I feel like that was not the demographic for, like, teen girls, you know, which is the demographic, I guess, for Pitch Perfect. That was a huge crossover for them. Who knew you could sing a rap song? But yeah, so then there are artists that refuse to let Glee cover them, like Slash and Foo Fighters and Justin Timberlake. Which I think is crazy because Will Schuester was based on Justin Timberlake. So I'm like, he was supposed to star in it. He was supposed to be Will Schuester. So I'm like, why are you not cool with Ryan Murphy?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
I never knew that. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rewatch it knowing that that's supposed to be Justin Timberlake and you'll be shocked. I think he didn't want to walk in on a kid in the shower singing and blackmail
and then blackmail.
Only Matthew.
What do you mean
Morrison
he
was
wouldn't
brave
want
enough.
that? Oh my God.
Yeah, but then they also never covered a bunch of artists. I think because of, like, so these artists, we don't know if they've, like, banned them from it, but they must have because they were never covered or they were just too expensive. Mariah Carey, Cher. Shania Twain. They only covered 2 Taylor Swift songs, and that was Mine and Mean. And the only reason I find this weird is because apparently Ryan Murphy is a huge Swiftie, wanted to get her on the show, and really wanted to have a Taylor Swift themed episode. And yet they've only covered 2 of her songs. And they're like lesser hits. You know what I mean? So I feel
that's
like
really interesting. It must have been pricing then. Even though I feel like she would have at that point in time, like maybe like pre 1989, like I think I could totally see her coming on to do an episode. Like it kind of surprises me that she wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, 1989 I think was released while they were filming or while they were already airing the last season.
Yeah, like by that point I don't think she really would have needed Glee by any means, or like there wouldn't be any value to being on Glee in its 5th or 6th season. No disrespect, but also
there was no value
TV.
for anyone other than Phineas.
Oh my God, yes. With his long hair. Oh my God.
The way he should have been.
That's a memory hold thing. Phineas O'Connell on Glee. Oh my God.
Yeah, true. But also it's like they never covered Black Eyed Peas. And I'm like, those songs must have been expensive at the time. Like, I don't know. Like, because they were the biggest thing in the world at the time that Glee came out.
Yeah.
Another way to let songs pass on to the next generation, a middle school dance. If you have a middle school dance song, that's the way to do it. Like, I remember Bye 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 was the last song they played at our middle school dance. Like,
nice.
And high school, like every single year. It was Bye 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 was like the closing song.
Interesting. Maybe there's something there about like forming of memories, and it's like if you can, and again it all comes back to like if you can be where the young people are, then
it's true.
And if you can get to them, I mean, I think about like artists who often have like multiple phases of their career where it's like they're brought back from a commercial dip because a younger generation finds them and what they're doing.
It's like Taylor Swift when she released Me and then Folklore afterwards, right? The next one was Folklore, and
that's a much better example. I was going to say Kanye West with whatever he's doing and the TikTok teens that he's getting with the what's it called? Have you not heard of the TikTok Riz Party, AJ?
No, but I did have someone one time, they were like, guess who this song is by? And they played me something off of Vultures, but I didn't recognize it, obviously, because I'm not going to listen to Nazi shit. And I was like, what song is it? I was like, who is this? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And they were like, it's a newer rapper. And I was like, okay.
Ooh.
And they were talking about Kanye West. Like,
that's wild.
And I was like, let me list you off some Kanye West songs. Those are all from before you were born.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
But yeah, middle school dances, there was a thread on Popheads that I'll never forget where they were asking like teens of Popheads, like what songs are being played at middle school dances. And a lot of people weighed in and were like, it's all songs from 2012. Like it's because they stopped after that period of time, they stopped making those party songs. But that's a venue in which you need to do it. So every song was like from like 2010, 2011, 2012. And then like Say So was sprinkled in there and like Lizzo was sprinkled in there. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's why. And I'm thinking like, I feel like maybe we're getting back to that a bit with like Sabrina Carpenter and Shabuzi and Chappell Roan. But it's like, you know, there was a good chunk of time where I feel like all of the party hits to me were rap songs. And they were great, but it's also like you can't play those often at
you definitely can't play that at middle school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it's like, it's a certain type of party too. You have to have a certain type of vibe.
Yes.
Yeah. Another one is associated with a holiday. This is like Party in the USA and Firework are associated with 4th of July.
4th of July. Yeah.
Yeah. So every year those chart or threaten to chart.
Yes.
Thriller charts every year now because of Halloween.
Yeah.
Hallelujah is one I throw in there because it's like now been retconned as a Christmas song.
Interesting. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, really? I feel like
they
cover like there are so many covers of it on Christmas albums. Like
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Also, Pentatonics likes to retcon songs as Christmas songs. White Winter Hymnal from
Fleet Foxes. That's right. That's been like a sleeper Christmas song, and I'm not complaining because I love that song.
I mean, yeah, it's great as a Christmas song, but it's also like bloody.
Not
like
a Christmas song.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Christmas song. But It's My Party for birthday songs. Like I feel like that lasted
What's It's My Party?
It's my party and I'll cry if I want
to.
Yeah, Leslie Gore.
Yeah.
I feel like because of birthdays, that's a big one. I mean, like, and Bonnie McKee has talked about this a lot, about the Katy Perry song Birthday not becoming like a birthday hit. Maybe it's because it was too sexual. But like, you know, that was her dream for that song specifically, was to be associated with birthdays.
Can I tell you a really funny story about that song?
Yeah, go for it.
There was back in college, I was in like a funk rock band, and we were playing gigs. We would play gigs at school, but we'd also go like into Boston and some of the areas around and do gigs. And we were doing a busking gig once, and one of the songs we would play was Birthday. And the day that we were performing was my dad's birthday. And as like the gag,
I know where this is going.
As the gag that I would do when we were performing the song, I'd be all like, "Hey, is anybody's birthday today?" And there was one girl who raised her hand, and I said, "This song goes out to that girl and my dad. Hit it." And then, and now looking back about the part about the big
balloons,
the big balloons, and get you in your birthday suit. Yeah, that I'm realizing in real time, like, oh, maybe that was. I see why people aren't, playing that one as much.
Yeah, I still think that it's great, because I think the innuendos are not
they're not super in your
forward.
face, especially considering that it's a Katy Perry song.
Yeah, and then the other one that I think is successfully clung on to a holiday is LOVE. You know, love is just the way.
Oh yeah,
like, because we have so many love songs in our culture that we don't really assign them specifically to Valentine's Day, but that's the one that I feel like is the Valentine's Day song.
Right.
Like, that's the top of the Valentine's Day playlist. That's like,
I don't know of anything else, honestly, that goes there.
I was looking at it. I was looking at like different playlists, and it was really just that. And then there was like Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis.
Oh yeah, makes sense too.
But
or
like,
the WB40 version, or the UB40 version. They did like a reggae version of the song that was a hit in the 90s.
Oh, kind of like that.
I feel like that's what I hear more, at least like on the radio and in, public places. Maybe that's a memory hold song too.
No, I feel like, I mean, at least not to me, like I wouldn't think that, but that's probably just because it gets covered so much. Maybe, I don't know.
True.
I think of that song, and I don't think of Valentine's Day, but I think of LOVE, and I think specifically of Valentine's Day.
Yes.
You know?
I see
not just the movie, Valentine's Day, which is pretty good. There are no New Year's Eve songs though, really. Like there are songs,
but there is a New Year's Eve movie.
Yes. And then I guess the last one is just like if artists continue to be popular. So if they continue to be popular, their songs will become popular. Like Dolly Parton has said a couple times that Hannah Montana really brought her into the next generation, and I believe Miley Cyrus's cover of Jolene definitely brought that into the next generation. Like that was the first exposure for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, Taylor Swift, right? All of her re-recordings and things like that are being brought to the next generation, which the next generation will probably think that these are all new songs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you had mentioned it earlier too, like Kanye West and people being like, oh, he's a new rapper. And it's like, excuse me?
And they think all the other songs are new songs because they were introduced. I mean, I remember
they're new to them.
There was a 16-year-old who once said to me, he was like TikTok came on, and I was like, oh my God, this is what TikTok is named after. And he was like, wait, I thought this song came out like 2 years ago. I was like, oh, I feel old. This song came out when you were 2 years old.
Wild.
Yeah, but if the artists continue to be popular, I think people will always have a way to check back in on their discography and remember even the smaller hits.
Yeah, so, like a trickle-down effect.
Yeah, like anyone you cover in the DDDs, right? I feel like they're going to naturally have more of more of an interest in all of their songs. As opposed to maybe just the song that was the biggest.
I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's an appreciation for the whole body of work. And it's like those larger artists often go through like periods of ebbs and flows where it's like, there are times where like David Bowie had like a deeply uncool period where at the time it'd be like, who the heck would be a fan of David Bowie? But then you get to look back and it's like, oh, there are distinct phases where it's like he was doing certain things and new generations find him. And then get to go back and be like, oh, he's actually been doing this stuff for a while. Let's look at like Ziggy Stardust or something like that.
I do think that David Bowie, a lot of his stuff is in memory hold, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of pop hits, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think of, and I think of the 80s, the great 80s trio, right? Prince, Madonna, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
It's like Madonna, weirdly, like no one has forgotten about Madonna, but a lot of her hits have kind of slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, for some reason, none of them. Like, they've been really well preserved in cultural consciousness, and probably going to happen even more so now with like MJ the musical. So now we have one more game before we go. It's like, how will they be remembered, right? So I have 16 artists here. We don't have to do all 16. We'll maybe just jump around a little bit. But like, it would just be fascinating to predict in let's say 20 years how these artists will be remembered. So we're already, for a lot of these artists, we're like 10 years out from their peak. Some of them were only 5 years out. Some of them were still kind of in it.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to know like where they end up. First one is Drake. Like, how will people think about Drake in 20 years? Let's just say that like I don't know, because you don't really want to make too many assumptions on like what will come out in years.
Yeah, it very much depends on like everything that's gone on with him and Kendrick and what's been come to light. Like, is any of it gonna stick or is it not, for lack of a better word? I mean,
even if it does stick, it feels like he's kind of on a downward trend, just in terms of like, you know, critical reception and you know, pushing the needle. Like, things might be super popular, but how much of it is like pushing the needle, other than this feud in which he very clearly lost?
True, very true. There's a part of me that thinks he's too big to fail still at this point. We'll see how like the next year or two plays out, but if we're talking like 20 years from now, I don't know. I think we'll remember the hits. I think we'll remember like One Dance.
I feel like we'll remember him, but not that many hits.
Interesting.
Maybe One Dance, probably Hotline Bling, I feel like would be the song that like sticks around the most, I'd imagine. But maybe not. Maybe I'm
not sure either, honestly. It could even be like Forever. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could even be like one of the early Drake hits too.
It could. I feel like that they would need to have some sort of like divine intervention, and by that I mean Glee reboot or something, or you know what I mean, something
a whole episode dedicated to Drake.
Oh God, they would not. Or they would, and
it would be bad.
Just punishment. Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say he's gonna end up. Oh, and I really don't want to say David Bowie-esque, because David Bowie's known for like, but I feel like Drake is going to be known as a figure. Like, everyone's going to know that Drake exists. Like, he's not going to Garth Brooks it. But I just I don't know how much. It's hard to tell, like, what songs will make it into the canon, if any.
I think if any of them have a chance, it's Hotline Bling.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe One Dance too.
Maybe One Dance, yeah.
Yeah.
Next one's Rihanna.
Ooh.
Let's say she never makes music again. Why
not? I think it might be something similar. Or it'll be like the thing where like she is famous for having once made music and then never making it again. It'll be like Guns N' Roses, how they just never put out Chinese Democracy for so long.
Yeah. Again, another crazy phrase if you don't know what you're talking about. They put off Chinese Democracy for so long. Rihanna, I think actually that almost all of her songs will make it to the canon. She has like 50 songs that like our generation will know the words to, and that's more than any artist, I think. I think, and she's still like what, like the 4th most popular person on Spotify.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And Spotify basically got popular after her last album. So
True.
I think that like their peak, I think, started in 2017, going by numbers.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think Rihanna is really going to be one of those people that like a lot of people will know the songs and they might be like, oh, that's also a Rihanna song. Like they'll know Rihanna, and they'll know all the songs, and they just like maybe won't realize that they're all by the same person. And they'll be like,
See what you
Jesus, how
mean?
many
Yeah,
songs does she have?
because
But
she did really like do a lot of different things stylistically when she was
yeah,
active.
yeah. They'll be
What do
like,
you
Ponde
think?
Replay is also a Rihanna song, you know?
Yeah, true. Well, I was going to ask you, like, out of all of them, which Rihanna song do you think is like absolutely going to be like a certified hit for generations to come? If you had to pick one.
See, I would not want it to be either of these two, but I would have to say Umbrella or We Found Love. I
Yeah.
would want it to be Sex with Me or something fun, but no, it's definitely not going to be that. I mean, I think, hold on, like I need to pull up. I
I was
have a
going to say, I think
playlist.
Umbrella is probably the one. That or,
Don't Stop the Music. I feel like
yeah, that one.
totally
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily it'll be work.
I don't think so either.
I think we were slipping away from the monoculture at that point, even though it was one of her biggest. Diamonds, totally diamonds.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
After her Super Bowl performance, like I feel like there was a lot more love for diamonds than I expected. Like
Interesting.
I was pulling people on like what she should do, like how she should close it out. Like everyone was like, "Oh, it has to be diamonds." Like
Interesting.
she can't not perform diamonds. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't realize we were all so hyped on that.
Damn.
Disturbia could, just because that's another one of the vocal stem ones. Bum bum beat up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, Only Girl in the World. Again, a lot of these songs, I feel like, also Love on the Brain, I feel like has been better remembered than
Oh,
Work,
yeah.
weirdly. But I feel like a lot of these songs could end up being like in some form of like a Glee or a Pitch Perfect or a commercial or a sync. Like they all have, like all 50 of them have the power to do so. So I would say
I
that.
see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, Bruno Mars, which is so
Ooh.
tricky.
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard.
You have all the old songs that are memory hold. He's still like flop proof. Like he's still like,
He does, yeah, he hasn't missed yet. I wonder if it'll be something where, like, he himself is around and doing things, and maybe there's, like, one or two songs that, like, everybody knows. And I'm trying to, I feel like those one or two songs, I think Uptown Funk, solely because of its use in, like,
Totally.
parties and weddings.
totally.
And then if we're talking another one, I mean,
Locked Out of Heaven, maybe? No.
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, a slower one. It might honestly be When I Was Your Man.
Oh, Marry You, because that's in every proposal.
Could be that too.
Yeah. Proposal video.
I keep forgetting that was a hit of
Or
his.
like wedding. It was kind of like, I don't really think it was a hit. I don't even think
Okay.
it was. I don't even know if it charted. But I think
I don't think it
if
did.
it did, if it was low, I think it's another one of those like syncable songs, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Bruno Mars, I think, is actually going to be kind of remembered like Bruce Springsteen's remembered. Like you remember that they were big, but like in terms of like cultural, like pushing the needle kind of
Yeah.
things, like Bruce Springsteen doesn't come up that often.
No,
on this
but it's
show.
also like people know not to disrespect him in that way where it's
Exactly.
like where it's like I feel like we'll be when we are like in our 40s and 50s and our kids are like who the heck is this guy? We'll be like put some respect on that man's name.
Yeah, like that man soundtracked our entire adult life. However, like who is Bruno Mars? Like no one knows because he's not like
That's
a
true.
celebrity. He's an artist.
Yeah.
Which
well, I mean even like Springsteen has like that American rustic feel to his persona, you know what I mean? Whereas like I don't know if Bruno Mars has I feel like something that's aided him well is that he can kind of like slip and like glide between like he did, you know, a more throwback song with Lady Gaga and now he just put out the song with Sexy Red. Like there's something hit to his
they're the same
versatility.
song.
How would Die with a Smile in a Club go down?
I think is he just slowly getting more and more thoughty as the singles go on?
Maybe.
Okay, number 4 is Ariana Grande.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. She will be remembered and she will be a celebrity for acting.
You know, fun fact, in 2010, before she released any music, I told my dad, I was like, Ariana Grande, remember that name. She's going to be a household name one day. but I was like so right, but I was also fairly wrong because
like the monkey's paw.
Yeah, because I was thinking that she would be a household name as a sitcom star. I thought she was going to be like Lucille Ball. I thought she was the second coming of Lucille Ball.
Damn.
And I was wrong. I think now, I don't know. I still feel like I feel like she'll be at like a Mariah Carey. And I don't mean to draw more comparisons between them, because I know that's like what plagued her like first album. But like, I feel like she'll be like remembered in a Mariah Carey way where it's like, wow, she had all this success. And like, I feel like maybe a few more of her songs will carry over than Mariah's, because Mariah's also like weirdly very memory hold.
Yeah, except for All I Want for Christmas Is You. But
Exactly.
even then, that's seasonal too.
Exactly. That kind of overshadowed a lot of her other music.
Yeah.
Santa Tell Me could do the same thing. Santa Can't You Hear Me is also climbing up the charts. That could be like she could have her and Kelly Clarkson could both have two Christmas hits that chart
Possibly.
every single year. I mean, they do currently, but like we'll see how long that lasts.
I could see that happening more for Kelly because I feel like right now she's just in the daytime show host lane.
Yeah.
And she's not putting out new music.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be like the longer she doesn't put out new music and the more Christmases that go by, I feel like that could happen to her. I feel like Ariana
Kelly's going to be the next Brenda Lee.
Oh my God.
No,
actually,
I think
and then Ariana.
I think Since You've Been Gone keeps her from doing that though.
I could see that, yeah. But I feel like with Ariana, like, and I think of this specifically because of like Wicked having just come out and how I don't know her personally, but it does very much seem like she likes acting quite a bit and wants to do more of it. So maybe it'll be more of a thing where it's like Ariana Grande is like a famous movie star in like a couple decades, and we're all like, oh yeah, but she also used to put out music, and we're reminded.
So a Jennifer Lopez, so a beloved Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my God,
or a beloved Will Smith.
Yeah, also
Ariana Grande is going to be Will Smith. Okay,
wow.
Prediction made by Mr. Michael T. Snare. Didn't someone call you Michelangelo the Snare? I love that.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was in your video. That's so funny. Justin Bieber.
Oh,
I feel like he will very, very distinctly be remembered as a teen heartthrob.
Yes,
like,
he will. I don't know if any of his songs will stay, though.
Any?
Well, no, sorry. You know what? I have been going back to the radio experiment. I have heard "Sorry" a bunch more than
really
I
not
thought
Love Yourself.
No.
Oh, interesting. I would have assumed that it would be Love Yourself, but yeah, Sorry.
I could see either of those though staying around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Baby is always one that goes hard at the club, but again, it feels like you had to have been there. Like they're pandering to a specific generation of people
100%.
that are at the club. Heard that at the club last night. I think Justin Bieber is going to be. I don't think it's going to be like the Beatles, where it's like all their songs made it over with them. But I think like the Bieber fever and like that whole, like I think he'll be remembered as like the teen heartthrob to end all solo teen heartthrobs. Like I actually like, that's obviously a big part of Elvis's story too. But I feel like that's going to be like a big thing for him. Like he is like, if there was ever to be a teen heartthrob.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder too, like, I don't know if he's on your list, so if I'm getting ahead, like, forgive me, but
Go for it.
Harry Styles, where
He's
it's
not.
like, oh, he's not really.
No.
Because I was thinking about like him or One Direction, and I think One Direction is also going to be memory hold for our generation, especially now that, one of them has sadly passed away, so it's not like they're going to reunite at any point.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they'll do like I don't know, we'll see.
I mean, will they get insynced though? Like, whereas like What Makes You Beautiful is kind of like their Bye 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 or their I Want It That Way or something like that, like with Backstreet Boys. Like because they had successful members or a successful member after they ended, like is that going to have the Justin Timberlake effect where it's like people remember Destiny's Child more fondly because of Beyonce?
Yeah. I could see that. And it also depends too, like Harry Styles has not only his own career riding on him, but also One Direction's in that sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if Harry Styles were to ever take a downward turn, I think One Direction might go down with him in that sense, where people
No
aren't
pressure
thinking about
has.
him. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I like that. I like that prediction. We'll throw that in.
Then again, I feel like Harry Styles has a path to become like a very like serious artist. So we could see there. It could go either way for him.
I could see that.
Like if he becomes like Peter Gabriel or something like that.
Or if he becomes the next Ariana Grande.
He has done acting, true. I don't know if he's as good as Ariana.
No. He's not.
I'm thinking of like, I was first thinking the Marvel cameo he had, but then also Don't Worry, Darling. Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
Don't Worry, Darling.
I forgot he's in that.
My Policeman.
Oh yeah, my mom liked that.
Gay cop. Nicki Minaj is the next one.
People will remember Super Bass.
Yeah,
Maybe
you know what?
the Monsterverse too.
I feel like people will remember Nicki Minaj more than they'll remember the songs.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be like any female rapper that exists from here on out is going to, like, I mean, we already see it with Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion and whatever, and like they're just going to, like, people are going to draw lineages back to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
As
True.
if she was the first, which she wasn't, but I guess she was the first for so many people because there was such a drought
Also
at the time that she came around.
Yeah.
She was much more popular for a longer period of time than I
For
guess
sure.
these others. And I don't know if that's disrespectful to Missy Elliott, but like numbers wise.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Missy Elliott is also, side note, but I feel like she's been memory hold a bit too.
Totally.
Yeah.
But also people who weren't even alive for her hits have gotten down to her hits, I have seen.
For sure. Yeah, she's kind of like, I don't want to say hidden treasure, but it's sort of the thing where it's like,
they'll be like, who made this?
Yeah,
like,
everyone can universally agree that it's good.
Yeah. Maroon 5. I feel like you did share a prediction on this podcast one time.
I shared it. I may have shared it here, but I think I also shared it when I did a deep discog dive on them. This is a 2-part prediction. One is
it totally
for,
was your DDD.
Yeah. It's for the band pre-Moves Like Jagger and then the band post-Moves Like Jagger. I think the band pre-Moves Like Jagger, like She Will Be Loved, I think is going to be the big one that's remembered. Maybe This Love also. I'm not
Sunday
sure.
Morning?
No, I don't think. I mean, if we're talking like hits, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I feel like it's going to be She Will Be Loved. And I'm trying to think of the other two records. I don't think like Misery. Misery might be remembered, but as a meme, because it's like people are going like, I am in misery. And then they show like the meme with Adam in front of the Missouri state sign. So maybe that'll be remembered.
Wait, I've actually never seen that, but that's
I'll send it to you later.
Okay, I love that.
But then post Moves Like Jagger, I think nothing is going to be remembered in like 2 decades or so.
That makes sense. For Maroon 5, I think it's going to be one of those things like Genesis, maybe, where you're like, yeah, I know a couple of these songs and I know that they were big, but I don't know anything about them. Yeah. And then you like learn more about them and you're like, oh, why was this kept from me? Like, this is interesting.
Yeah. And in their case too, like you had the solo work, whereas like Adam Levine for some reason still hasn't like branched out to a solo career.
It's because Maroon 5 kind of is a solo career.
There we go.
It's the same thing as Panic at the Disco, right? Like, it's like, why, you know, it's just ego at that point if you're going to change it to your own name. Cause
for sure.
No difference. I mean, I don't mean to be mean to PJ Morton like that and the other
PJ's great
nameless members of Maroon 5, but
except for the one that I think got arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah, fuck that
who I don't
guy.
think is in the band anymore, but still fuck that guy.
Yeah. And also there are way more than 5 members. I think there are like 7 currently.
They've still never revealed why the name is the name. The only thing that Adam has said is that it's apparently a very boring. No, there were 5 of them.
Oh, there were? Okay. Because
when
they were Kara's Flowers, there were 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think they added a guitarist so that Adam Levine could be like just the front man.
They added a guitarist so that they could call it Maroon 5.
Exactly.
Maroon 4 just wasn't hitting.
It doesn't have the same ring.
The next one's Katy Perry, and I actually have a strong prediction on this.
Go for it.
Every single one of her songs, like I showed this, like I think I've said this on the Katy Perry podcast we did here, but I showed like all of her songs to like I want to say 6-year-old and like a 2, 3-year-old maybe.
Okay.
And I just played them songs and I said like jump if you know the song, right?
Mm.
I think that it was something like that. And it was like I played the 8 hits off of Teenage Dream, and they knew every single one.
Damn.
And I was like
Yeah.
knew the lyrics. And I was
Mm.
like, yeah, this is because all of them have gone viral on TikTok at one point or another.
Yeah.
Like if that you know that they had how Billboard has the TikTok top 50 like trending chart.
Yeah.
If that had been around since 2020, I bet all 8 of those songs would have been on there. And
I
so
see what you mean.
I think
Yeah.
she's also going to be a Rihanna type where, she has 13 really big hits. I feel like 7 or 8 of them will last, maybe 6 if she's unlucky. And those will be like songs that people don't realize are all by the same artist, but they'll be like, wow, I know all
Mm.
these songs.
There is a lot of goodwill you can buy by having a lot of really good hits on one album. And
Yeah.
it's like, my first thought was outside of the pop world, but the Killers. And I think of like the first 5 or 6 songs off Hot Fuzz, and how in a lot of ways that run of songs is responsible for them having a career up to this point. Not to say that the stuff after Hot Fuss was bad. Like the next album had When You Were Young, and that's like what I think that might be their best song for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those 5 songs at the start have carried them so long since. And I feel like Katy Perry's the same way, where it's like no matter how many 143 she puts out, people are always going to love Teenage Dream. They're always going to love California Girls. Like
Yeah.
that's going to carry her.
Yeah, Teenage Dream is going to be a classic love song. Like,
Yeah.
for real.
You know what I was hearing recently, or I've heard a couple times on the radio this month? E.T.
Love that. It was the Kanye West remix.
No, without Kanye West.
Okay, which sucks because I prefer the Kanye West remix, but then I just remembered he was a Nazi, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
remix. Guess where Mr. Brightside is on the UK charts this week?
Is it number 1?
No. Oh my gosh.
Oh God,
no.
I could. It's weird enough. The UK loves that song.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's lasted 441 weeks on
Yep.
the chart. Its number is 63.
Okay.
63.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Is like, I think every week last year it was on the chart.
Yeah.
Like,
It's insane.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my prediction for Katy Perry. I feel like her songs will stand the test of time, and her celebrity, I feel like her songs will stand the test of time, and her celebrity will carry on because of that. I
Yeah.
feel like she might get retconned into some like Betty Boop kind of figure too, because that's what she was
Yeah.
originally going for, is like that like pinup girl in her first era, right? I feel like
Right. Yeah.
she's going to be a caricature of the girl whipped cream boobs.
Mm.
But there are some like songs that would be held up by like with like Drake and Bruno Mars. We said like the songs will be held up because they were so prolific as an artist.
Yeah.
I feel like her like name and likeness will be like held up because her songs were so good at defining an era. Like I
Yeah.
think of the 2010s
Yeah.
in general, or the year 2010, and I just think of the album cover, the Teenage Dream album cover.
Yeah.
Okay, next one's Miley Cyrus.
Ooh. I think it'll be a Katy situation. I think the celebrity will be there, but I mean, like, what songs by Miley?
Party in the USA. The Climb could be.
Yeah, I could see Party. Climb.
I don't know. Flowers could last forever on the radio, even
It
if
could.
if it seems as though no one is thrilled by it, but everyone likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everyone seems like to give it like 2 thumbs up, or sorry, 1 thumb up and not 2 thumbs up. I mean, I don't know if really Wrecking Ball or We Can't Stop would, carry over, but I feel
Which
like,
is, yeah, those are great songs, but it's also like, I don't remember the last time I heard them organically out in the world.
yeah. So I think it really will be Party in the USA because that's unavoidable. But Miley Cyrus, I feel like it's going to be the opposite of Katy, where her celebrity presence, she's going to be an A-lister for the rest of her life. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what she does, she will have that like presence that it like Britney Spears has, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
But people might be like, oh, I actually don't know that many Miley Cyrus songs, you
Yeah,
know? Or there might be
I could
like,
see that.
oh, she like didn't like, okay, think of Dolly Parton, right? Dolly Parton, everyone knows who that is. Everyone knows like her like signature hit,
Yeah.
right? Jolene. And then everyone has like an idea of who she is and what she stands for in their head.
Mm.
Um, and they know like 9 to 5 and Jolene.
They might know that she originally did "I Will Always Love You."
Yeah, just like they would probably know that like Miley Cyrus was on Hannah Montana,
Yeah,
and they might know of Hannah Montana. But I feel like everyone's going to know Miley Cyrus and know about Miley Cyrus, and she is just going to exist and be there in the forefront of everyone's brain.
yeah,
And some of those songs will come with her, but yeah, I feel like it's the opposite of Katie, where Katie is like the songs will carry Katie, and Miley will carry the songs.
yes.
The next one, I'm gonna say Ed Sheeran.
Ooh, oh, that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, like, huh?
And it sucks too, because like out of anybody who I'd like to keep seeing as like a celebrity presence, like I think he strikes me as a very like affable, nice dude. So it's like, in one hand, I'd like to just see him sticking around, even if it's just as a celebrity. But like song wise, I mean, I heard "Perfect" on the radio a few days ago. I really don't. Oh, I mean, there's "Shape of You," but I don't know if that's like if that has legs.
Yeah, I think everyone's sick of Shape of You. I think it's one of
Yeah.
those songs that was like so big in the moment. Like I loved Shape of You
Mm,
before it got big. Or not before it got big, but like right at the start.
yeah.
And then I got sick of it really quickly.
Yeah.
It's a good song, I can admit that, but I think that everyone who was there is now sick of it. It's like
Yeah.
blurred lines where it's more like you
Mm,
have to, like if you're giving an oral history of music, it's like you can say that it was there, like it was important, it was big, it was like this
yeah.
big shining star, but it burnt out pretty fast. I
Yeah.
don't think anything's going to carry over.
I wonder too if Ed's recent work has kind of soured people on him, because I know that I think it was Divide was
Yeah.
not received very well, and like Bad Habits with the zombie or the vampire Ed Sheeran
Oh wait,
didn't
no,
go over
Divide was
well.
the big album, right? I think
Maybe
Divide
what
was
was
the
the
one with
one
Shape
with
of
like
You.
the colorful? What was his? I know
Was
his
it? It's
most recent one
plus,
was a
right? Or no? No,
hold on,
subtract. That's what it was. Subtract and then equals.
Equals, but then he also did like some random record with Aaron Dessner, Autumn Variations. Yeah,
Oh, that came out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for that to come out so I could
Yeah,
check it out. But
equal.
I
Yeah,
didn't
equals had
realize.
Bad Habits and Shiver, and then there was Minus, which like that was also one that was done by Aaron Dessner, which is like cool, but also I don't remember any of the songs off of
Yeah,
that.
he did equals before subtract, which I was
Yes,
like, okay. So equals or equal or whatever it's however you're supposed to pronounce it. That one
equals with an S.
equals. Yeah, I think that one is the one that soured people on him a little bit.
Yeah,
And then subtract was a total 180,
yep,
but then people I guess didn't care by that point. And then autumn
yeah,
variations again, like I did not know that came out.
yeah. I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Nice that Aaron Dessner's getting work, and then
Yeah, he might
yeah,
be entirely memory hold, like
he might.
entirely, like
Yeah.
person, like as a like you might be like looking at him the same way like I'm looking at these names of these people who had hits, and I'm like, who is that? Like, is he going
Mm.
to be a Michael Bolton where like something ends up becoming a meme?
I don't know. He doesn't have like memeable. Well, he doesn't have memeable songs, but he himself is kind of a memeable personality. Like he was
Yeah.
in Yesterday. He had like a
Oh
sizable
yeah.
role. He was good in that movie.
I feel like
Like,
I will say I don't feel like he's going to like we're talking specifically about the US right now. I don't feel like the same will be true for the UK.
oh,
He's
true. Maybe
way
he'll
too
be the
big
new
to
Robbie
fail.
Williams.
Yeah, well,
I can't wait to see his biopic where he's like
could...
a orangutan or something.
Yes, Ed Sheeran the orangutan,
Yep.
or Ed Sheeran the pickle. I feel like he's going to be some weird,
I'm Pickle Ed.
inanimate object. The teddy bear.
Yeah.
That would be so creepy.
God.
Yeah, I feel like Ed Sheeran in the UK is going to be remembered and beloved, and then here I don't see it.
Damn.
And
Yeah.
like
So
that
like,
is
yeah.
no shade to Ed. Number 11 is Lady Gaga.
Ooh. Oh wow. I have thoughts and I feel like they might be spicy.
Oh, go for it.
Oh man. I think kind of like Ariana, it'll be she's more interested in acting right now. It seems like. Whether that's been successful or not on the whole is another question. Like A Star is Born is excellent, Joker 2 maybe not so much. Maybe to our generation she'll always be remembered, but to younger generations, maybe it's like maybe it's just Bloody Mary or maybe it's just Bad Romance.
See, I feel like she's not going anywhere. Me
Really? Well, I
personally,
mean, she'll still be around for sure.
no, but like I feel like she's going to have a Madonna-esque career where she'll never get like the credit that Madonna does, nor does she deserve it in that way, right? Because like Madonna was like the archetype of the modern female pop star,
Yes.
and like any astronaut is not going to steal Buzz Aldrin's, credit, right?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, I feel like I feel like she will be something that like when you think of certain decades, she'll be what you think of. And I feel like she'll be like Elton John-esque in a way where there are random periods of time where she's just really popular again.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's like
Die with a Smile and Shallow and
oh, that's
like
true. Yeah.
it's just like some things are just gonna really take off, but that doesn't mean every album is going to be a smash. And I feel like she's
Yeah.
in that place where like Chromatica doesn't have to hit as an album for it to have a little bit of a moment with Rain on Me, and it's not going to do any damage to her legacy.
I see
Like,
what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel like I totally buy what you're saying, and I think as well, if anyone currently in our like pop world has the potential to be like a David Bowie, where you do have those distinct phases, and like there's like a time where maybe she's not as popular, but then something happens with like new music or old, and she becomes popular again. I think if anybody's going to be like that, it's probably her.
Yeah.
Like I could easily see myself eating my words like in a decade's time. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd say that about anybody else, but with her, that it's there.
Yeah. Let's do the same exact podcast in 2 decades. Adele. Last one, Adele.
Oh man, I think Memory Hold.
Really?
At least based on the current trajectory. Like if her plan for the foreseeable future is to just keep doing the same kind of music and also just do the Vegas residency, yeah, I think Memory Hold to millennials and like Gen X.
I would say more like a Carole King kind of thing. I feel like her songs are going to be covered years from now, and by people who don't even know that they're covers. Like they'll
Oh,
think
I
that,
see. Like the Great American Songbook thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that album 21 keeps her relevant in a
Yes.
way that like even if she didn't want to be relevant anymore, she literally couldn't escape it. I feel the same way for Katy Perry with the Teenage Dream album. It's like sometimes if you just strike gold so big, right? Like Bruno Mars, flop proof, but like there hasn't been an album that is just completely unavoidable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rihanna Anti is still so heavily streamed, but just not. I don't think it's thought of in that way either.
Yeah.
I really feel like Adele has one of those once in a generation albums.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it does buy her a lot of goodwill. And
Totally.
like again, it's like that what she does is so singular to herself and she does it so well. Like her voice is phenomenal. Like I think like by our generation and also people older than us, because I mean like that kind of music is just bait for older people. Like she will be beloved for sure. I just don't know if that's going to necessarily grapple onto a newer generation necessarily. Yeah. Or it might be the same thing where it's like, maybe it's like a Joni Mitchell thing too, where it's like,
yes.
Of course this person is a legend. Of course there's like 2 or 3 songs that are like foolproof and like bulletproof basically. But like on a whole, it's like, I don't know many Joni Mitchell songs, I know a couple and those are good, but still.
Yeah. Like I think about it this way, like doing a trust fall with a friend, but they have to name 3 Joni Mitchell songs to be able to catch you. And it's like, I don't think I would trust I don't know who I would trust.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I can actually name you 3 Joni Mitchell songs. Because I was thinking Both Sides Now, Help Me, and then I thought A Case of You at first was Carole King. So I was going to tell you that, like, oh, yeah, it's these 3 songs, and I was expecting you to be like, oh, no, that's Carole King. And it would have been like a three-peat of my, like,
oh my
mistaking
God.
people. But no, actually, Case of You is a Joni Mitchell song.
Yes. I was also thinking of 3 completely separate songs. But again, like, that's where Adele might fall. Like, she might be, like, known as, like, oh, yeah, like, that's her song.
Yeah.
And oh, it's like, it's going to be something that, like, for years, artists are going to be like, yeah, it's my influence. And again, we're just speaking US, because again, in the UK,
oh, yeah, true.
totally different story.
Yeah,
totally different story. Because she was big even before 21.
Yes.
I think that's how it's gonna be.
I see what you mean. Like,
for a lot of these artists.
Yeah, it'll be the same thing where it's like she is known as a persona, and it's like that, like, serious, like, classic singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you may not know, like, every single song.
Yeah. I also feel like Lana Del Rey is going to be moved up into that category where people won't know any Lana Del Rey songs moving. Like, think people who don't actively listen to Lana Del Rey a couple generations out are going to know her name as if she was a big pop star. This is another thing I wanted to bring up with Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse is one of those artists where it's like she had one album that was big because she had Frank before that, but Frank, I
didn't get big until after her passing. Yeah,
exactly. And Frank should have been better known because, I mean, it's a great album, better than Back in Black, I would say.
Damn.
But yeah, Amy Winehouse like had one song go to like number 7 or something, and like a couple other like minor hits. She really could have been if she had faded away instead of passing, and if there wasn't so much interest in her personal life, she could have been a one-hit wonder.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And it's just weird to think, like, on paper you would have thought she was a one-hit wonder, but really she is revered in a way posthumously that she was not when she was alive.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing too, where it's like, again, Glee comes into play here, because I remember hearing Valerie on there, but also when Bruno Mars, bringing him back in, did like a VMA medley, or not a medley, it was he did Valerie, and it was like a really good performance. And I remember seeing that, and that was like the first instance where I was like, oh, this Bruno Mars guy has something, like he's going to be big. Yeah. Which is an interesting sort of like passing of the torch, I guess. But
yeah. And like there are so many Amy Winehouse songs that weren't big at the time that were retconned into hits, like Tears Dry on Their Own and Valerie and
Back to Black.
Back to Black. Yeah, it's like more so than Rehab, honestly. Like, yeah,
very true.
Which was the US hit. And again, we're just talking about the US. It was a little different in the UK.
Okay.
But it's just it is crazy how some people, like, you know, who knows, right? Like, any of these 13 people that we've talked about, they could have a completely different, you know, perception of their career because of something, hopefully not because of them passing away, but something might happen that just really changes how people think of them for forever.
Yeah. So, culture is very fluid like that. And it's like really we were talking about earlier, where it's like, is it the responsibility of culture to like preserve some of these songs? And it's like, again, like anything could happen between now and the 2 decades when we record the follow-up to this episode, where it's like, yeah, something could happen, and maybe like one artist's trajectory just like veers off in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
There's no way to know.
Paramore could be better remembered than Ed Sheeran, for all we know. Like, that could be passed down, whereas Ed Sheeran isn't, and then people just assume, like Dolly Parton, a lot of people assume that she was much bigger than she was because of how well remembered she is today.
Yeah.
Well remembered sounds like she's dead, but sorry, Dolly, but how revered she is today.
Right.
There are a few artists where I'm like, oh yeah, they actually didn't have as many hits as I thought they did, and it really, it's like so wild to me that like that you would have thought that they were this massive artist, and like, you know, the careers people have when they're active are not necessarily the careers they have, you know, 30 years after their peak.
Absolutely. We were even talking about the Beatles earlier, and it's like, in that phase between like, I guess Revolver, or no, it would have been with the Beatles and Revolver and then Sgt. Pepper. Like, there was a time when like there were artists coming in who were effectively replacing them as like the teeny bopper heartthrobs. And if we were alive then, like, would we have been saying like, oh yeah, the Beatles are done for, they're just going to go into their cocoon and then just make a bunch of weird stuff?
Yeah.
Like, there might have been that time, and then they would have put out Sgt. Pepper and we would have been like, oh, never mind.
And also ABBA, right, was never really that big.
Yeah.
At the time, and it was, they were retconned into icons through Mamma Mia. Like,
wow.
it is so funny. Like, is someone going to make like a Shawn Mendes jukebox musical, and that's going to make everyone think that Shawn Mendes was like the #1 pop star?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a completely random throw out there, but or Halsey.
They have to dedicate like an extensive amount of time to the, what is it, Lyle Lyle Crocodile soundtrack? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Absolute blast, as always.
Thank you so much, Nick, for joining me. Thank you to Noah for the theme music, and thank you to Chris for editing this episode. Make sure to check out the Mike the Snare Patreon page if you get a chance. It's just patreon.com/Mike the Snare, and make sure to rate and review us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on right now. Bye, y'all.